Okay, today we're going to talk about is hacking into these warded locks. These warded locks they're not very secure. As you can see, probably on this, the way the security level of 3 out of 10. Anyway, they used to make houses worth it too, and they stopped because, well, people were breaking into houses because they're so easy to do. Anyway, we're going to talk how easy it is. It's so easy that someone could take a key from one of these locks, file the bumps off, and make a lockpick out of the key. Out of the freaking key out of it. I'm gonna go back to Futures and take one of these with me, and hopefully we can file the bumps off of one of them, off a few of them, so we can make a key that opens up multiple of these types. In fact, these are so simple that where did I put it? I had it with me. That is so simple that one of these could even open it. If you take a black thing off of it and you use these binder clips, these whole papers together, they can be used to break in through these type of locks. Yeah, it's very rare that it'll work. I heard I used to be able to do it, and then I had problems with the one lock I tried. Then I was talking on to this lockpicking chat room. They said it was very rare for me to bypass the key with one of these because it needs more than just that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna file the bumps off of how you can tell if it's warded. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But warded locks, they're not gonna be on houses. So if you're trying to break into a house door, it's not going to work usually, because most of them nowadays, they don't use warded. They use the regular pin locks, which is different. Which you can open up with a paper clip or something like that, but it'll be real hard. It's harder yet. And basically, we're going to do that. What you'll need is a file. You need to buy one of these locks. Make sure it's a ward lock. Here we're going to talk about is now I'm going to talk about how to see showing if it's a ward lock or not. On ward lock, the keys will look like something like this, as you see here. There'll be gaps on each side. They're identical, symmetrical to each side. To be bumps on there and little gaps, notches we call it in the key. Those notches there, when I show you a picture of how done. In fact, this thing comes with a picture on it, so you can shows you how everything works, and it's very simple. And basically, if you file these all of them except the last one, we'll keep the last one there. Otherwise, when we turn the key, it won't do nothing. Because there won't be nothing there to pull against the lever inside the lock. There's a secret lever at the end of it that if it turns, it will pull against that lever and it'll release the shackle of the padlock. Anyway, with these here, another way, we're going to talk about how you can tell if the lock is warded, if you have a padlock on it. If you look at the padlock right here, this is what it looks like inside on a hole on it. As you can see, it's like a squiggly line, a zigzag line, or what they'll call it. And if I take something and I try turning it, it'll just loose, it'll turn. See, I can turn it. See, I can turn it like this, show you again. But this is not going in all the way. I'm just going to turn it from here. If I can, it's hard to see. See how it just easily turns? That's another sign that's warded. The good thing, there is a good thing about warded locks. But the thing is, it might be a warded lock's a good thing if you try to keep children out of something. But it's not something important that you're trying to save. Trying to prevent someone from getting into. You just do it for safety. Like let's say there's like a shelf full of guns or drugs or something like that, and you don't want your children getting a hold of it. You might go around and locking it up with this. It's probably good enough to keep them out of it. Hopefully, I'm gonna say if you figure out how to do this, then that's a different story. Anyway, we're gonna go on the computer, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna scan this, and I'm gonna explain how it works with the way I'm gonna try picking there, try to hack into it. It's okay. So that's this here. We're gonna go to paint now. We'll see how well we can get this. I'm gonna also sell the key on my store. And it's not gonna be that expensive, so it's probably I'm gonna make it a little bit less expensive than the key the pick set for this Warlock set, because I'm gonna make I like it when people use my stuff. I'm not in the business for getting money. I'm not. I'm in the business for people to use my stuff. It really makes me feel special when people buy my stuff and use it. I like the feeling that the stuff I'm making is being used. You know, I don't care if the profit I'm making is not going to pay for the actual item. I'm not doing it that way, because this lock won't cost like $3, and I'm going to probably have something less than that. I know it's not going to be way less than that. Since it's just the key, maybe I'll sell one of the locks with it. But why should I? Because you just pick at it and it opens. So you turn it, it opens up. And it doesn't matter which way you turn. You turn either which way, I think. You turn it the other way. Yeah, it opens both ways. Well, I think the pin ones, all open one way. So anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the computer, and I'm going to show you how Warded Padlock works before we go and file it off and make the keys reusable for other locks. Okay, here's the design of a Warded lock. There's a key right there. You see right there going into the lock. This is what I was talking about. That what makes this method works. Right there you see right across there, you see this thing that's going to cross from here to here. Let me see if I can fill that in. Since this is paint, might be able to fill it in with a color. We'll choose red. That's my favorite color. No? Don't want to fill it in? No, they ain't gonna fill in because this color's not the same. Anyway, with this there, that means that if we cut off all the nodes, all the bumps off the key, we'll make a key that will work on all this type of locks, including the model 222D, which is this lock here. And inside it, there's boards on it that make it, if there's a bump right by that word, it's not going to turn, and then we can't open up the lock. Now, if you go file them off, it should work, because the lock will open, because it will have nothing jamming it there. You know, it'll be like the whole key's like free of it. In fact, they call these, I think they call these keys skeleton keys. So it's I'm actually making a skeleton key. Is what type of key we're making that open up these locks. see right here, over here you can read. It says also suggests you shield, gates, tool chests. Steel shackle provides strong cut resistance. Warded lock mechanism minimize jamming from dirt and grime. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. That how it's more, it'll last longer because it's very, there's nothing in it that could, no springy little stuff that pins they have in the newer ones, better security ones, preventing you from opening it. That well, not that prevents it from getting into the way and getting inside it and then messing around with that, with it rusted or gets dirty, gets dirt in it, and that prevents the key from prevents it from opening and stuff like that. So basically, since it's such a simple design, it's going to last longer because you don't have to worry about dirt or water or anything like that getting into it and damaging it, because it's such a basic design. There's no springs used. Or there's probably a spring for the shackle, the come loose, and there's a spring on the lever. I showed you the lever at the end of it, right there. Then it pulls that lever. It's probably not a spring. It's probably just a metal thing that pushes back. Then once there's nothing pushing it, it pushes back forward, keeping it locked in there until someone unlocks it. Another thing about these word locks I should tell you about is that there ain't no such thing as duplicate keys unless you hack and make your own key. Then you have a duplicate key. A duplicate key that can open all of them. They say it's not possible because they don't want you to get the idea of I don't know if that's true enough. They don't want you to get the idea of making your own tool that will open up all of them. It's just that the key that they want. I don't understand why they would say that, because you'd think that since you can just go and like file the bumps down, it would open up for people instead of not letting them open it. And it can be done with any kind of key that fits that lock. They used to do it in the houses, like I said, but then they stopped doing it because it was so easy to open up. That pin, that these, I don't know what they call the pin locks with the pins inside them, and then they have, instead of notches on both sides, there's like edge. There's like where I'll have to draw it. Anyway, it'll look like, hard to say. But I don't remember what type they used to call it, because I used to be really good at picking locks and stuff like that. It used to be one of my fashion things I used to do when I was a kid. Not just computer stuff, this stuff too. Anyway, well, let's see if we're going to show you how we're going to make it. This will be happening once I get. I'm hoping to do this sometime this week or so. It depends if I have to have, if Jamie thinks we're going to have safety equipment for doing it. I don't think we'll have to have that, because we're just going to sand or file one of these keys so we get rid of these bumps off of it. So when you turn it on different locks, it would open without the bumps jamming the key from turning. That's all it takes for these things to work. And that's why most of the stuff nowadays doesn't use that. In fact, they make keys like this called skeleton keys, which I know houses like the one that my mom wants to be moved into has a big one with a big hole on it, and then it uses a big type of key. It's not as small as one of these are. though, because it's old. They did that because it was so easy to open. And that's basically what we're going to end up doing. So, I hope you stay tuned for the next episode, part 2 of this, where we go the process of filing and trying to open the lock up because I got 2 locks, and I believe that it shouldn't open with the other one because there's a different key. It looks different too because this one here that goes down farther, and this is the one I want to put on my locker because the one that goes down farther is to make it a harder job of making it where it's going to look for more locks. You want the ones that go up the shortest length from the first gap, shortest length of it going up. You don't want it to go down too down low. That makes it hard to file off. And that's why this type of lock I'm thinking I'm going to use my locker. And then the other locker grab, I'm going to keep it and use it for my try opening it up, try picking at it with making a key to open it, and this one. We'll try both. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you check out my store because I'll have this key to sell in my store once I get it made. So I hope you watch it. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it.